Damp, cloudy, gray, dull skies. I know some people love this type of weather. Our producers say, boo, yeah. Well, yeah, well, it's late November here in our region, and sunshine can come at a premium this time of year, that's for sure. Checking in the views from across the region, from Benton to Mount Vernon, Carbondale, and Metropolis, showing, of course, some of the lights shimmering off the low cloud deck. In fact, in Carbondale, maybe even a little bit of patchy drizzle or some fog in a few areas. Very damp outside this morning. No real measurable rain expected this morning, but it is cool. It is damp outside. Temperatures are in the low 40s in most areas of southern Illinois. 43 currently in Carbondale. Harrisburg reporting 42. Mount Vernon also reporting 42 degrees. Paducah and Cape both at 45 here as we start the day. Cloudy skies expected all day long. Very little in the way of sunshine expected. Makes for a pretty chilly afternoon with highs only running up to about 50 degrees. Winds on Tuesday will be very strong from the south. We're talking sustained 18-20 miles per hour, possibly some gusts near 30 miles per hour. We're dry through a good part of the daylight hours on Tuesday, but by late afternoon, especially into the evening hours, tracking a chance for a few showers and potentially a few stronger storms. Still think the risk for a lot of the more significant severe weather is south of our region, but there is a chance we could see a few stronger storms Tuesday evening and possibly into the overnight hours. Something we'll break down here in just a second. Wednesday, Thursday, much colder air starts to make its way in. So it's cool outside right now, but we're talking about highs on Wednesday, Thursday, possibly struggling to break 40 degrees in some locations. There's all the low clouds around us. Some breaks out to our west, but not expecting many breaks in our clouds locally today. Strong storm system making its way through parts of Canada this morning, draped back behind that cold front through the Rocky Mountains. That is part of the energy moving our way. Notice this afternoon, just very few breaks in the clouds, just a gray day. High temperature only about 49 in Mount Vernon, about 50 from Carbondale to Marion and Harrisburg, about 51 today, Paducah, Sikeston, and then into the Missouri Boot Heel, lower 50s are expected. Very few breaks once again in the clouds, though, through the afternoon. Looking ahead to Tuesday morning, starting off very similar to where we are right now, low to mid 40s, and Tuesday afternoon, strong winds from the south, and that's going to push temperatures in the lower 60s. By Tuesday evening, it may actually be a little on the muggy side. When you are stepping out late November and you start feeling some of that warm, humid air, doesn't really feel like late November, we start getting a little more concerned about the threat for stronger storms. That may be the case in some parts of the area as we make our way into Tuesday evening. Notice 3 p.m. tracking maybe a few showers and storms in a few locations. By about 8 o'clock, there is a chance we could start seeing a few storms pop. Now, a lot of the better instability is going to be tied to the cold front out to the west of these storms. So could see some small hail with a few of these as early as about 7-8 o'clock Tuesday evening. But then as we make our way into the late evening hours, as the cold front itself starts to make its way in, notice a few storms right along that front. Something to really keep an eye on. There's a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere. We will have some instability. So can't rule out a few stronger storms. Main threat is going to be into western Kentucky and northwest Tennessee. Once that front goes through, the severe weather threat's out of here and so much colder air begins to work its way in from the north. Storm Prediction Center, level 3 just to our south. Big threat, level 4 out across parts of the Mississippi River Delta there, where some fairly significant severe weather is expected. Level 2 for much of far southern Illinois, western Kentucky, Missouri Boot Heel, northwest Tennessee, and then that threat level does drop off just a bit farther northward. But right now it does appear that we could see a few stronger storms once again late Tuesday evening and into the overnight hours with strong straight line winds. I can't rule out a tornado or two, but I think the bigger threat for severe weather and the bigger threat for tornadoes is likely just to our south. So something to really keep an eye on. Heaviest rain where they see the strongest storms, parts of western Kentucky. Rainfall amounts start to drop off a little farther northward here in southern Illinois. Low 60s will do it on Tuesday, and quite a change once the cold front moves through. Highs on Wednesday and Thursday only in the low 40s. In fact, Thursday morning waking up in the lower 20s. We'll bounce back a few degrees by the weekend, but more rain starts to make its way back into our forecast as well.
Of course, I'm getting some messages right now. People are asking, hey, this is a later in the evening event tomorrow.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of things on people's minds. Of course, about December 10th of last year, very different setup. And for us, yes, we need to pay attention Tuesday evening, but the more significant severe weather likely south of us.
All right, thanks for that, Nick. Well,